We thought Mama Ose was human, but the thing waiting for us in the dark wasn't a woman anymore. It was swollen, stretched, and terrifying. To break the curse, the herbalist and I had to do the unthinkable. We opened the forbidden door and stepped straight into the spirit world. Inside, the small room was gone. It was an endless chamber of giant, steaming pots. And at the center, the spirit was waiting to feed on us. There was only one way out. Smash the vessel. Break the bond. And pray we survive the explosion. Igosa heard Mama Ose's voice whisper from inside the locked stall, even though she disappeared before his eyes. He tried to convince himself he imagined it, but the sound followed him home. That night, he dreamed of the stall again, the same cracked walls, the same smoky pots. But this time, the humming wasn't distant. It was calling him. When he woke up, hunger clawed at him again. Not the normal kind, but the strange, hollow emptiness he thought he had escaped. He forced himself to eat bread. It tasted like rubber. Rice tasted like sand. Water tasted metallic. The old craving was coming back. Meanwhile, Begun Street grew restless. People walking past the abandoned spot swore they heard footsteps inside the locked stall. Others said the door rattled on its own at night. Some claimed a soft orange light glowed beneath it, even though the building had no electricity. A week later, a crowd gathered early one morning, murmuring nervously. Handprints had appeared on the inside of the stall window. Not small handprints. Large, warped ones that stretched unnaturally. Igosa's stomach tightened when he saw them. Against his better judgment, he leaned closer. And then, a whisper slid through the wood. You broke the bond, but you did not break me. He stumbled backward. A tall, distorted shadow moved behind the door. A shape that looked like Mama Ose, but swollen, stretched, wrong. The humming rose again, shaking the air. Igosa knew then. The spirit wasn't gone. It was rebuilding. And Mama Ose's soul was trapped inside it. And it wanted him. Terrified, Igosa rushed back to the same remote village where the herbalist once helped him. The man's expression changed the moment he heard the story. What you saw, the herbalist whispered, is not her returning. It is the spirit wearing what is left of her. He explained that when Mama Ose disappeared, she was not destroyed. She was claimed. The spirit had used her body, fed on her soul, drawn strength from the fear and hunger it created. And now, the herbalist added, it seeks revenge. You broke its chain of feeding. You starved it. Now it wants you first. Igosa's blood turned cold. The herbalist lit sacred herbs and watched the smoke coil upward. This spirit feeds on cravings, emptiness, desperation. The more people speak of it, fear it, remember it, the stronger it becomes. He paused. There is only one way to stop it. Igosa leaned forward. You must destroy the last thing tying her spirit to this world. The stall? Igosa asked. The herbalist shook his head. No. The back room. Igosa felt chills run through him. That place isn't normal anymore. Yes, the herbalist said. Because it is no longer a room. It has become a spiritual gateway. That night, they returned to Begun Street. The moment they approached, the air grew ice cold. The wind stopped. The street became unnaturally quiet. The stall seemed to swell as if breathing. The humming rose beneath the ground. And then a scream exploded from the back room. Mama Ose's voice mixed with something monstrous. The herbalist gripped his staff tightly. She is not alone in there. The herbalist prepared protective charms through the night. You will only be safe for a short time, he warned. Once we open that door, we step into the spirit's own territory. Igosa nodded. He had no choice. The torment would never end unless he faced it. At midnight, they returned to the stall. Strange human-shaped shadows circled around it, whispering. The ghostly forms of customers Mama Ose had once fed. The smell of pepper and iron thickened the air. The humming grew louder, turning into chanting. Then the back door slowly creaked open from the inside. A wave of heat blasted out, carrying the scent of boiling broth and something far older. They stepped inside. The small back room was gone. In its place stood a vast spiritual chamber, endless, shifting, filled with enormous steaming pots. Shadows crawled along the walls. Something alive slithered beneath the floor. At the center stood a monstrous version of Mama Ose, swollen, glowing, her eyes burning like two small suns, her teeth longer than ever. She spoke in layered voices. "You fed me once. Now I will feed on you." The ground cracked open. Hands made of smoke grabbed at Igosa's legs. The spirit lunged toward him, trying to drag him into one of the boiling offering pots. The herbalist shouted ancient words, fighting back the shadows. Igosa, desperate, grabbed a staff from the altar beside him and smashed it into the pot. The pot erupted like fire. 100 voices screamed. The chamber collapsed like shattered glass. The spirit convulsed, shrinking, and then everything exploded into blinding white light. When Igosa opened his eyes, he was outside, the herbalist beside him. And the stall was gone, vanished completely. Only an empty patch of dirt remained. That night, as Igosa slept, a faint humming drifted from underneath his bed. But it faded quickly, as if something had finally lost its strength. Years passed. He rebuilt his life. He never returned to Igun Street, until the day she returned. 7 years passed. After the spiritual battle, Igosa left Benin City and moved to Lagos, determined to build a new life far away from the memories that haunted him. And for the first time, things went right. He finished school. He started a small tech hardware business. The business grew. He rented a clean apartment, bought a used car, and finally lived the peaceful life he once prayed for. No humming, no shadows, no hunger. Just normal life. He told himself the story was over. But trauma doesn't disappear. It hides, quietly, waiting for the right moment. It happened one rainy evening. Igosa was driving home along a quiet road in Surulere when he noticed an old woman sitting alone by a bus stop. Her wrapper was drenched, her face bowed, her hands trembling. He almost drove past, until she lifted her head, and his heart stopped. It was her, Mama Ose. But nothing like the monstrous version from the past. She looked human, painfully human, her face thin, her eyes sunken, her body frail and shaking, her voice barely a whisper. "Igosa," she breathed. "Please, stop." He froze in the rain, unable to move. "What do you want from me?" he asked, voice trembling. Tears slid down her cheeks. "I am dying," she whispered. "The spirit left me at last. It used me for years, until there was nothing left but bones and guilt." She gulped weakly. "I did not begin as a wicked woman. I only wanted my business to grow. I wanted customers. I wanted a life better than the one I had." Her voice cracked. "So I went to a spiritual man for help. I asked for blessing, but he gave me something else. A spirit that fed on hunger and controlled me." The rain fell harder, soaking them both. "I tried to stop," she whispered. "But once I began, I could not leave. I was trapped inside an agreement I did not understand." Igosa swallowed painfully. "Then why did it come after me?" Her lips trembled. "I did not choose you. The spirit did. You were the only one who could break its chain. It hated you and punished you." For the first time, Igosa saw her not as a monster, but as a woman destroyed by a choice she never understood. "Did you truly vanish that day?" he asked. She shook her head slowly. "No. It took me, hid me in its world, used me, kept me alive just enough to suffer." She looked up at him with desperate eyes. "But today, after 7 years, I am finally free. For the first time." Her strength faded. She collapsed to the ground. "Mama Ose," he shouted, catching her. Her breathing was shallow, her eyes watery. "I came to say it," she whispered. "With my own mouth. I am sorry for everything." Her cold fingers clutched his hand. "The spirit is gone, but the hunger remains. Somewhere." Her hand slipped. Her chest rose weakly, and then fell one final time. Rain washed over her face, softening her expression until she looked peaceful, almost like the kind woman people once loved. Her burial was quiet. No family, no mourners. Just Igosa, standing alone as the coffin lowered into the earth. When he turned to leave, a soft breeze brushed past him, and in that quiet moment, he heard it, a faint humming, weak, distant, but still alive. He prayed sincerely that this time, it truly was the end. What did you get to learn from this story? Kindly drop your thoughts and questions below. Do well to hit the subscribe button to see more emotional and exciting stories like this on Afro Tales by Siri.